ownership and tenancy in property tree profile. Basically, whenever we are adding any of the new property in the system, before that we need to add the ownership details in the system. So here, whenever we need to add any of the ownership details, we need to go to the managements. Here we have the option to add ownership. By clicking here, the profile will be open. Here, to fill the ownership detail, you need to get the authority signed. In authority, you will get all the details of the owner. As if the property is registered onto the name of the company, then it would be entered at the name of the property, at the name of the company itself, otherwise on the name of the owner. So now I'll fill the name of owner here, and then I need to add the contact details. Then their address where they are residing currently, right? Now their contact number and their email address. Then you have the information that statement information should be sent by email, right? Style would be basic and font would be regular, and the contact type is owner. If there are multiple owners, then you need to add contacts and fill the details of another owner. If not, then you need to fill only these details, right? Now the payment information, you need to get the payment details, the bank details of the owner, and that would be in the ownership statement, right? Ownership instruction form. Other than that, if there are any phases, you can add from there, and then you can save it. Now you can see the ownership profile has been created, right? Now I need to add the property details over here. So I need to gather few of the details of the property. For example, how many bedrooms are there, and is the property entitlement is house or any other thing, like it's an apartment or it's an house, that you can get from the Google. You need not to get the full information regarding the property from your team. Once you Google this address of the property, you can get all the details from any of the real estate site. So by adding the property here, into, so now you need to select, is the property residential or the commercial one. The same information, if you don't have, you can get it from Google, right? That's the residential one. I entered the property address. Now the property type is uh, a house. The bedroom is one, the bathroom is one, and the car space is one, two. The authority would be signed on the day the owner signed the authority. That we get to know from the authority itself, right? For example, this authority has been signed on 1st of April. So here I'll add 1st April date. So I also gained the management on 1st. I will never enter the authority end date because this can be entered when we left the property. When once we lose the management of the property, basically the gain reason can be anything, and if you don't want to mention any of the reason, then no reason specified. The expenditure limit is $2,500. These are the limits of the expenditure that can be used at the time of emergency if the owner is not responding. For example, if the fire breaks at the property and the owner is not responding, in such circumstances you need to get this fund use. Now, the rent information that could be weekly, fortnightly, yearly, right, as per the convenience. Now, is it the residential rent? And then I need to enter the rent amount. The rent amount is 1712. So I'll enter the same amount 1712. If there is any last rent increase, then you need to enter there, and if there are any faces, then you can add there. For example, the management fees, the leasing fee would be entered under that. Now we have created the property and the ownership. Now we're left with entering the tenancy details that we get from the agreement, and again, to enter the details of the agreement, we need to get the agreement signed first, right? For example, the name of the renter is this, right? The lease is signed and the rent information is finalized. Otherwise, if you don't click at that, this would goes under the prospect, and after that you need to convert the prospect into the tenancy, and again you need to fill all the details of the rent, right? The address is auto filled. Now you need to add the phone number and the email address that you have already from your agreement. I have entered the phone number and now the email address. For example, this is the email address, right? Now, the preferred contact, auto emails receipt and auto email invoices. The contact type is tenant, and I need to save that details. If there are multiple tenants, then I need to put the details of the another tenants by adding contact. If there is only one tenant, then this information is enough. Now the lease information, the length when it started and when it's going to be end, right? 6th October 2025, it started in 6th October 2025. Let's take an example. In It's a 1 year agreement. It's going to be end in 5th of October in 2026, right? Sorry, the original restart date and the restart date would be same if there are new tenants. And the lease end date is 5th. So duration is 12 months. Right. Now the rent information, rent start date would be always the lease start date. Right. They are paying on the base of monthly. If monthly, then monthly, right? And then bond information. The bond type would be residential bond. The amount, and if already launched, here you need to add the bond number, right? And then save. In this way, you can add the tenancy, property, and ownership. By I refresh and it will be start reflecting. Now, if I added the backdated tenancy, it is showing me in arrears. So I need to update the paid to date in here. For example, if I have the leisure, I can see they have paid to 5th of May. So I can update it here. Uh, as I need to update that. So I need to change the paid to date. I'll show that in the next video. Thank you.